worm pointy and a little stretchy and Knocking test. 6 knocks. Normal one, Koc knock, Y knock, E knock, M knock, Vermil and fang knock. And I prepared 5 different bows. The first one is the junior snake from Armin. Second one is a Turkish bow from Annibale. Third one is the Ellen from Malta Archery. Fifth one is a Ching Dragon 2 from Annibale. And the last one is the Blackfoot longbow from Bearpaw. So we have 5 different companies. Now we test the first knock. And my knock test is quite simple. I put the knock on and I see if the bow will knock. So you see, junior, snake, string is too thin, doesn't work. Turkish bow, Annibale, works very well. Takes a little effort, yeah, it works. Clicks very good. Ellen from Malta Archery. See, works good. A little less than the Turkish one. Ching Dragon 2, Mariner. Oh. String is thin, it's a 50-pound bow, but look, string is very thin. I hope you see that. Not going to work. And Blackfoot Bearpaw. Solid, rock solid. See? Doesn't want to go off. So, that's this one. Let's see what the Koc knock will do for us. Clicks a little, so it stays in place, but it's not able to hold the weight of the bow. But it clicks slightly, so a little better than the standard knock. Then, of course, should work solid here. Yep, very solid. Look at this. Yep, solid. Sarmat. Doesn't want to go off. Very good. Oops. Ching Dragon. Mariner. Yep, look at this. Ooh. But just enough to keep it knocked, but not too much to hold it too tight. So quite okay. Blackfoot Bearpaw. Oh, almost too solid. You can already hear this click and look when you pull it off. How far I have to pull the string, so it's a little tight for this one. Next on the list, the Y knock from Vermil. Why not a Y knock? Not at all. Turquoise. Ooh. Okay. Salamat. Almost. Ching Dragon. No chance. And Blackfoot rock solid as usual. Yep. Nocks good. One of my favorites, the V knock, but I will do a V wound. Should be the same. Nothing. Not clicking at all. Turkish bow, Annibale. Nice. Just the amount. Oh, almost too much, but good. Almost a little too much. should be fine with the Sarmate. Yes, look, perfect. I guess the bow will be too heavy. Yes, it clicks, so it holds the arrow in place, but it's not enough to hold the bow on the nock. And Blackfoot, of course, no problem, but almost, again, too tight. Manchu, Manchu. The fang nock want to steal away. So, Manchu. Or M-Nock from Vermil. Nothing with a junior. Turkish. Perfecto. Might be a little light then on the... still, look, nice. Good. Manchu with Manchu. Nothing at all. And most probably very tight. Again, look, this is all, it's okay. So, last but not least, as I always say, the fang nock. On the Snake Junior. Nothing to knock. On a 50-pound Turkish bow. Clicks in a little, you can hear it, but could be a little more. See, it's not enough to hold the weight, and we might have no chance here. Nothing. No chance here. And Bearpaw, ooh, not even there. A bit, so it holds the arrow in place, maybe, but the slightest move. So, interesting. Now you know. I start first with standard Nocks, Mediterranean. Easy to knock, feeling good. No problem. Standard Nocks, thumb release. You can get used to hold them in your hand when you shoot like this, no problem. Next, Koc Nocks. A little easier to knock, because no matter how you pull them back, they always end up on the string. A little scratchy, because they point a little outwards, so you need to get your fingers away, they can be a little scratchy. Thumb release and holding them in my way. Koc Nocks. I like it more because they feel a little more secure, but I don't like the pointy ends, they always tickle you a bit. Loading no problem, shooting no problem. Oops. I said a little stretch in the fingers, so you need to be careful that you have your fingers then away when you shoot. Next are the Y-Nocks from Vermil Archery. They look like usually people on horseback modify their nocks, they simply widen them at the end. A little pointy feeling in the hand again, like with the Koc Nock. not that easy to knock like the Koc knock, but you find the orientation very quickly because they are flat and then you have them directly. I did not thumb release before, now we do Mediterranean. So thumb release is nice, you get used to it, no problem. Mediterranean, 3 finger, whatever. Works good too. Feels good, feels safe. Easy to knock, easy to shoot. I only don't like when you hold them, these points, little pointy and a little stretchy. And knock from Vermil Archery, which I like design-wise most, because they really go there, and I think you still will be able to simply pull back and land on the string, no matter how you shoot. And they don't have these pointy ends pointing outwards and scratch you. So Mediterranean, feeling good. You directly feel the orientation. You know how you have to hold it here. Easy peasy, knocking. Cool. Mediterranean, no problem. Thumb release with my way of holding them. Yeah, works. It feels for me more comfortable than these Y-Nocks where you have the points outwards. Nice knocks. Before, every knock has a small indicator that you know when you care about your odd feather or cock feather, that you know in which direction you have to rotate your arrow. I don't care about that. So now we try the Manchu style M Nocks from Vermil, which I liked directly from the beginning. Mediterranean first. A little more bulk to them, but nice. Yep, cool. Here what I like, you can hold them nice and they don't scratch you, pinch you, whatever. Thumb release. Of course now you need to try them with all thumb rings. When you do this, then you have 10 different kinds of thumb rings, 5 different kinds of bows, 10 different kinds of... then it's a little too much. They shoot very nice, very smooth, very... you don't feel them at all when you shoot. So I like them a lot, you can knock them very easy and they look cool. The biggest and the heaviest, most heaviest. Easy to pull out and yeah, you get the hang of it. Nice feel to it too, you don't have to look. They knock very easy because they have a very wide V at the end. Of course all these knocks are most probably not for Olympic style shooters, shooting with an arrow rest and a takedown bow and whatever. We still talk here traditional. Okay. So, thumb release. This you can hold them really good in your hand because they are so wide and so big. Yeah, string is too thin, see? They don't knock, and then when you switch, it takes a little until you get used to it. But other than that, yeah. A little fumbly, so are they, because they are still, I bring one in there. Of course, you know, easy, I had it in front of me and with a black background, easy to grab and you feel easy the orientation, but for me, for my taste, it's a little too much. They are very thin and here very wide. But I need to always come from here to there to bring him on the knock. And this is a little hard to achieve because they want to whoop, whoop, flip directly the other direction over. So this is what I personally don't like that much about the fang nocks. Otherwise they are so beautiful, so pretty and nice to shoot. They have a good feel to it, no matter how you shoot. They are big, heavy and pricey. We talk about prices later. Let's talk about first about color variety. Color variety is the topic. Now you see the benefit of the standard Nocks. They are, as example, available in white and transparent red, transparent orange and black, and completely transparent in several other colors. I don't have all colors because otherwise I go crazy with having them in stock, but you see almost every color available. Koc Nock. This is what you get, a nice beautiful Turkish red. The owner said that he will maybe release them in white and in turquoise, which would look very interesting. But on the other side, it's kind of like his brand color. They are nice and red, fine. Vermil, all three of them, only in this creamy white. It's okay, but you don't get them in another color, at least not right now. And then at the end we have the fang nock, which has these slightly luminant white, creamy, looks like ivory. Yeah, this is what you get. And what you see, what you need to consider when you want to modify standard Nocks, the full plastic one, like this black and white, you can easily bend them and bend them back. The transparent one, the plastic feels a bit more brittle. You can even hear this when I do this with a transparent one compared to a... Okay, you don't hear the difference. But they feel a little more brittle, and when you bend these ones and you want to widen them, they might break very easy. So if you want to modify normal ones, go for the normal colored ones, not the transparent ones. And they feel all good plasticky. This one is a nice piece of plastic, but some points like this dot here is nice to have the orientation, but it's, I don't know, it's scratchy. So maybe you need to go with a little sandpaper and make them a bit more smooth. Even sometimes on the back here, they are a little sharp, and when you have them, it can be a bit scratchy with the Koc Nock. The Vermil Nocks are all really well finished. I love the V Nock. It's, in my opinion, one of my favorites. The Y Nock is a little pointy and then it can be scratchy again. But other than that, feels good. Plastic quality wise feels even more or better than the normal standard Nocks I have here from Bearpaw. So this plastic feels really good. And then you have the Manchu one, which is really nice, smooth, no problem at all, and really nice made. Then you have the fang nock. The new version of the fang nocks is really nice, smooth everywhere, no sharp corners. But of course big, a little bulky, and for me, as said, this grabbing them, you pull them back like this and you need to rotate them to get the string in, is a little tricky because they tend to flip like this. Then it's hard to hold them in a position, at least for me. But of course you can get used to it. So when you see these ones, they are easier to hold in this position. Or this one, you hold it and you have it here. You feel it and tuck, you have it here and you can knock. Which one else? Manchu. There you don't feel it that good, but you still have a feel for it. But Manchu arrows are not meant to shoot for fast shooting, and this one is all no problem at all. However you have it, you pull it back and it knocks. And the normal ones, yeah, fine, you get used to it. So this is the one downside here, it's a little too, it always flips directly in 180 degrees instead of 90. But this is me, maybe I'm not simply able to shoot properly. To the weight comparison of the Nocks. First, a standard Nock, black plastic, 12 grain. The Koc Nock, 13.89, almost 14, so slightly heavier. The Y Nock from Vermil, 13.7, same. The V Nock from Vermil, 13.4, okay, a little less. The M Nock, the Manchu Nock, 15 point, almost 16, so of course a little more mass, but you know, Manchu arrows should be heavy, so it's almost 17 grain. and the fang Nock 27 grain. So now you have the weight comparison of these plastic Nocks. The pricing, the standard Nock here is €1, but of course when you take more the price will drop. Bearpaw sells them 50 cents, but I always have to calculate shipping and an end. Then we have the Vermil Nocks, they are 120 here, including everything. Koc Nock would be 150 here, and the fang Nock 250. What you have to take into consideration is when you build wood arrows or bamboo arrows, you can't simply glue them on and then put the fletching on, because with standard fletching jigs you don't get this Nock in the fletching jig. So you will need to tape first a normal Nock on, put it on and tape it a little, that you can put it in a jig, put your arrows on. When you're done, put it off and then glue your special Nock on. This is for the Vermil Nocks, this is for the Koc Nock, and this is for the fang Nock, all the same. This is where the standard Nock, where do I have one? I don't have a standard Nock. This is where a standard Nock shines. You simply can put it in almost every fletching jig, but not the big ones. But when you see them, Nock from Vermil, bamboo. They always say the Nocks are so good for horseback archery. Lecking a horse, I use the trampoline. I shoot now Mediterranean or this Lija LJA from horseback with regular Nocks. Oops, not a horseback archer. Normal Nocks, you get used to it. Of course, it's easier when you bend them, open them, or you use the coyotl. Way easier to nock, as you don't have to fiddle around. You simply pull them back wherever and they knock. That's why coyotl Nock. Now the Vermil Y Nocks. Working great. Now we come to the Vermil V Nocks. So, Y Nock from horseback, thumb release. Thumb release. Oops. Yeah, but quite accurate. So, now the V Nocks. Thumb release. Way better. So 3-finger or Mediterranean with the V Nocks doesn't feel that good for me. 3 fingers with the Y Nock fine. Thumb release, both are fine. Now I have to shoot the coyotl Nock thumb release. Coyotl Nocks thumb release. Coyotl Nocks thumb release. Better than both of the others. for thumb release from horseback. Now we still have left the Manchu Nock and then the fang Nock. In 3 finger. Not too bad, so you can get used to it. Fang Nocks. Mediterranean. Yeah, we should. Fang Nock's a little too big for me. The M Nock with thumb release. But you can see that they are made more for thumb release and not for this Mediterranean style. Felt way better. Fang Nocks, thumb release. Getting tired. Feel even these ones feel better for me, but I have to say I'm not a horseback archer. I shot now from the trampoline. We have the standard Nock. You can get used to it on horseback in both draw situations, thumb release or Mediterranean. It makes your life easier when you bend them a little outward like almost all horseback archers do. Then you have a fine Nock. Needs a little more practice. The Koc Nock in both ways, 3 finger draw, thumb release, felt very safe to shoot with it. So I don't practice this horseback stuff, but when I jump here on the trampoline, this felt very good, very safe. I had this good feeling, good control of the Nock. The Y Nock is, as said, like an improved standard Nock. Gives you a little better control. For me, not that good as the Koc Nock, but that's me. The V Nock, I completely suffered in 3 finger draw. In thumb release, they are very good for me. Then we have the Manchu Nock, worked both ways. Even 3 finger draw, because they're a little more bulky there, you have a good purchase on them, you feel them, you can push them back. Quite nice to deal with this. Thumb release, no problem at all. And the fang Nock, 3 finger draw, for me still a little too fiddly to get on. Thumb release a little better. But still overall, which one would I choose? If I would ride horseback, I most probably would go with the Koc Nock or with the M Nock if I shoot horseback. But I'm a foot archer, and there for me still the V Nock is a very interesting Nock. And the Koc Nock there almost par, but I like this one simply design wise a little better, and it's for me a little easier and not so overly fancy. So these two would be my final overall. When you depends what you shoot, or simply try it. When you shoot 3 fingers, then Manchu or Koc Nock. When you shoot thumb release, Y Nock or Koc Nock. When you shoot both, Koc Nock or Manchu. But as said, it's simply a matter of training. You can get used to almost every Nock. Some make your life a little easier, some make your life a little harder. Ease of use, Manchu, Koc Nock. In all situations, a little harder to use, the V and the Y, and the hardest to use for me is the standard knock and the fang knock. Thanks.